And hello. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good day. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Wherever you find yourselves right now, I'm so excited that you're here. I'm glad to be here as well. This is Work Time with Dr. Dwain Woode, and I'm so glad that you stopped by. We are in the middle of our amazing series called Q4 Winning Moves. We're talking about what are some of those strategies that we put in place that help us in our trek, help us to be successful in this space, in Q4, in the last quarter of the year, y'all. Now, let me set it up for you. So we started this year and we were hitting it. We came up with some plans last year and we outlined them. We had these big goals. We had these big dreams. We did our SMART goals. Remember we talked about that? And you set them up. You had these benchmarks and you have been going. You've been grinding. This has been an amazing year for you. And it's getting to the end. And it's the final quarter and you got a little tired. Yeah, you're still going, but you say, okay, I can relax now. I can ease up a little bit, and I'll pick back up in the new year. Right? That's you. You've had some successes, but now you're a little tired. Or you had some plans last year. They were amazing. This was going to be the year for you. And somehow life got a hold of you. Something happened, a bump in the road, if you will. The resources that you expected weren't there. The support from people weren't there, right? You just didn't have the right kind of plan, and somehow you got off track. And in the middle of the year, in the beginning of the year, sometime during this year, you decided, well, I'm not going to do it this year anymore. I'm going to wait until next year. Or you had plans that never got off the ground. And right now, the things that you plan to do, right, you were going to start a podcast. You're going to write a book. You were going to work on that relationship. You were going to lose weight. You're going to get better control of your blood sugars. You were going to do something this year, and it never really got off the ground. And right now, it's collecting dust on the shelves of your mind and sometimes literally collecting dust in your home. And I want to convince you that in this quarter, the final quarter of the year, y'all, we've just got a few weeks for the end of this year. I want to convince you that this is not the time to either relax or to say, I'm putting it off until next year, or to say, well, I'm not going to get started. Because you still have time, not only to be successful now in the final quarter of this year, but to set yourself up for success next year. As people say, and a good friend of mine always says, the success that you have in next year, in the following year, doesn't begin on January 1. It begins in the final quarter of the year before. And so here on the show, we've been talking about Q4 winning moves, right? Q4 winning moves. That's the series that we're on. We're talking about behaviors to help you succeed in the fourth quarter. Specifically talking about strategies for navigating this year-end sprint to success. And that's what we're doing, y'all. We are sprinting, right? We're sprinting to success. We are doing that. We are having a good time. We are saying, yeah, we're not waiting until this happens, until next year. We are coming right now. And this, y'all, look at that. This is what? Our 38th episode. That's right. We've been going for 38 straight episodes, and we're here right now. Tonight is no exception, but we're continuing our trek. We're continuing to talk about our Q4 winning moves. We're talking about those techniques. So we've been talking about problem solving, and we're continuing that process today. We're talking about problem solving, and we're going to use it. We're going to give an example of one of those problem solving techniques, right, that we've been talking about. You've been seeing them on the screen. So having explored how to identify problems, right? We talked about that. We talked about some of the critical things that need to be ask, some of the questions that we ask as we're identifying that problem. Last night on our show, we talked about the difference between the symptoms that we see for a problem and what the root cause of the problem is. And so tonight we want to use one of those powerful tools in the analysis of the root cause. And that is, we're talking tonight about the 5 whys. The 5 whys. You know, there are several things that we could do, right? Several ones that we can do as we're talking about mastering how we go about evaluating and coming up with solutions, right? The 5 whys. We can talk about, the fishbone diagram. We can talk about the FEMA model. We can talk about so many different ones, but this is one that we're going to choose, and we're going to spend some time going through it tonight. And so this model really says that what we want to do is we want to take a situation and we want to ask why. Remember, so we'll come to an example here in a minute, but remember, if we take the example of being fatigued, right, that we used in our last show. If you're tired, if you're fatigued, then the fatigue, the tired, that's the symptom. And so the question is, why are you fatigued? Why are you tired? Well, maybe you're tired because you went to bed late. And then the question is, why did you go to bed late, right? And we continue to go through that process until we come up with what we think is the real crux, the root cause, you will, if you will, of what the issue is, right? The root cause. So we ask those questions, and then we ask why, that first question, and we subsequently ask why again and again and again until we get down to the cause. And in this case, we're asking 5 whys, right? So that's why the why. That's why the 5 whys. We do that until we reach the problem or the root cause of the problem. Now, here's a little tidbit, right? So there's no magic in whys. The number 5 is just a placeholder. It really means that we are doing what we can to get deeper into the evaluation of the process. We're not just staying at the surface. That's why it's not just ask why. Not 1 why, but 5 whys. You may have to ask 7 whys or 10 whys, right? My wife, during her coaching program, or when she does her coaching, she has she calls it 7 levels deep, right? So they're asking 7 questions. Why? So whatever we need to do to get to the root cause is what we need to do. And right here, we're talking about the 5 whys. Let me pause here really quickly for a minute and say hello, G. Albert. What's up, man? He said good morning and good night. Be on for a few minutes. Some endocrinologist said that I need to get some more sleep. I wonder who said that, man. I wonder who said that. Using my words against me. I know. We got to get some sleep. So 5 whys. 5 whys. So let's hop over. So we're asking those questions, right? The 5 whys. Why did it happen? So let's hop over and let's use a common scenario that we see, right? A company is experiencing a decline in employee productivity. So they're going along and they notice, hey, wait a minute. When the employees are not being as productive, whether they're on the line, whether they are in they're in sales, whether they're in customer service, whatever it is, right? They're stocking, whatever your thing is, whatever your business is, whatever your niche is, your employees, your team members are not as productive as they used to be, and you're seeing a decline. And so what we want to do is we want to begin asking those whys, right? So we want to begin asking those whys. So the first level of why, or the first why, is why, right, is employee productivity declining, right? So why is that happening? And so we come up with an answer, right? Employees are feeling overworked and stressed. And so we could stop there, right? Because we have an answer. We can go out, we do a survey, we find out, say, hey, yeah, they're feeling overworked and stressed. But let's not stop there. Let's go ahead and let's apply that second why. So why are they feeling overworked? And so we come up with the answer. There's been an increase in workload without a corresponding increase in resources or staffing. Notice what's happened, right? So first we said, hey, these guys are feeling overworked, and stressed. Now why are they feeling overworked and stressed? Well, something happened. right? There's been an increase in the workload. So there's more work, and we don't have more staffing and more resources. Well, why don't we apply a why question to that answer? So notice as we're going through, the answer to the previous why becomes the question for the next one. Right? So our problem, if you remember, right? Let's go back to the problem. So the issue that we were having, the scenario, was that employees were not as productive. Right? And so we started asking, okay, why are they not productive? Well, that's because they felt overworked. Well, why did they feel overworked? Right? And so we're going down that track. So that's what we're doing right now. All right, so let's hop back over. So we're doing our why. So first one, they're feeling overworked. Why are they feeling overworked? Because we increased the workload. We didn't have more staffing and more resources. Why was there an increase in the workload? Right? We could have asked that, or we could have asked, why was there not any increase in resources? Right? We could have gone either way, but we chose this one. Why was there an increase in the workload? Well, the company took on several large projects without scaling the team appropriately. All right. So going through. So the next why didn't the company scale the team? There was a lack of adequate planning and foresight in resource management. So they didn't do a good job of looking at the scope of what they were planning to do, and then plan to make a change in the team, in the resources, right? And so the question then, why was there a lack of planning? The company has not established a process for evaluating resource needs for new projects. So the company is growing, the company is doing the things that they do, but they don't have a process that takes them through whenever they're evaluating or whenever they're starting a new project. They don't have something that they do to try to find out what the resources are that they need. Right. And that typically is something that we see in a lot of our instances, right? In a lot of our cases. And it doesn't matter where you are, right? That could be your business. It could also be in your family, right? You guys take on a project as a family and you didn't count the costs, if you will. You didn't estimate. You don't have a process for how you do that. Okay. When I first started doing my shows, or actually even before I did the live show, I was doing recordings. And I remember one time I got on and I was going at it, y'all. I was excited about the show. It was a good topic and I was going. And I got to the end of the show and I signed off, or the end of the recording, and I realized, guess what? The mic was not on. That's right. The mic was not on. And so what I do now is I have a checklist, right? I have a checklist and I go through blah, 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 blah. Now, if you saw my show last night, right, I'm going to just tell on myself. If you saw my show last night, I did not follow my checklist. Well, I followed it to a certain extent, but there was one thing I didn't do. There is a light right above me. And when I come into the studio, I usually turn off the main light above me and I turn on the lights that you see, what you guys see. And I didn't follow the checklist last night, and so the light stayed on through the entire show. Okay, so I was looking back. I was like, okay, why do I look like that? And it was because the light was on. So now you know. You can go back and you can look at that show. You can say, and you can tell the difference. Okay, and you can actually tell the difference in the studio itself. Okay, so yeah. So 5 whys, right? So 5 whys. Why did this happen? And you get an answer to that. And after you get an answer, you say, okay, why? Using that answer as the new question. And you keep going until you come to what? The root cause. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get to the root cause. What is the real thing? What is the real reason why this happened? And so problem solving. As we're talking about problem solving, what we're trying to do is we're trying to come up with a structured way of addressing problems. Let's say that again. As we're working through Q4 winning moves, We're trying to figure out what are those techniques that we need to put in place that will help us to be success. And we're talking Q4, but as I've said over and over and over as we've gone through these different episodes, the things that we're learning, the procedures, the techniques that we are putting in place that we're starting to learn, those same techniques can be beneficial to us, not just in Q4, but we're learning them so we can be successful in the coming year and in years to come, right? Because once you learn it, once you begin watching, once you begin seeing, you can't unsee, right? You can't unsee. So it's in your mind, and you now need to begin using those techniques, practicing them so that they can be effective in your world, in your line of work. Okay. All right. So that is the 5 whys. And as I said, it doesn't have to be 5. It can be 7. It could be 10. It could be 12. Whatever number of whys you need to get you where you need to be, so you can find. And we're looking for what? We're looking for the root cause, y'all. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this particular scenario that we just went through. All right, so we come to common scenario. And so let's analyze this a little bit, right? So through this line of question, we've moved from a symptom, decreased productivity, to a root cause, a lack of a process for evaluating resource needs. Okay? So had we stopped, and let's just back up there for a minute and let's take a look at that. So had we stopped, y'all, before we got to the root cause. So why is the employee productivity declining? Well, employees, they just feel overworked and stressed. So what would have been a solution for that? Well, they're feeling overworked and stressed. So let's just go ahead and let's cut back on their work. Right? That would have been a solution. Let's go ahead and let's hire some more people. And that would have been a solution for this situation. But if we got another project, all of a sudden we find out, oh man, the employee, they're overworked and they're overwhelmed again. And we're like, okay, what happened? Right? But because we are asking deeper and deeper and deeper questions, we come to the realization that it is a lack of a process that led to this situation. So now we develop a process. We've developed checklists. We developed ways of evaluating projects and how we bring people on board and how we increase, how we expand. So we've done that. And that allows us in the future to continue to be successful as we're growing. Now, let me put a pin right there to say this, right? Just because we came up now with a root cause and we're solving that issue doesn't mean that the employees are not still overworked and stressed right now. So we still have to go and address that issue. But had we stopped there, we would not have been successful in the long term. Right? Each time we had a project, we would find that we're in the same situation. And okay, man, every time we start a new project, this thing is happening. Well, it's because we didn't have a process. We didn't have a way of evaluating. We didn't have a checklist, if you will. All right. I'm just laughing at G. Albert. He said, but you played it off well. He said, did you really have lights on your checklist? I did. I do. I shouldn't say did, but I do have lights on my checklist. That's one of the, and the reason for that, and we're all family, right? The reason that I have lights on my checklist is that my walls are a particular color. And if I keep the lights on, then I don't get the effect. If I keep those lights on, I don't get the effect on the walls that I want. Okay. And so I have to keep reminding myself, turn those off, turn those off, turn those off, turn those off. And so, yeah, those are on my checklist. Very good question. I love that. All right. So that's our analysis of the situation. Okay. So let's jump over now and let's talk about, whenever we evaluate anything, we want to make sure that we're being fair and balanced, right? So the 5 whys technique is beneficial for the simplicity and its effectiveness. So it's very simple. I mean, you ask one word question. Why? It's kind of like that 3, 4, 5-year-old, right? So you tell them something and they're like, why? Can we go to the store and buy some candy? And you're like, no. And they're, why? Well, because right now I'm busy in the kitchen. Why? Because we're having Thanksgiving. Why? Because it comes around once a year. Why? Right? So that kid keeps asking why. So they're looking for the root cause. It's like, because I want some candy, right? So it's simple, right? All of us can do it without much training, right? Now, there is training that may be required to assess the data that you're getting, right? But the simplicity of asking the question is there. And it is effective because as you ask those questions, you get deeper and deeper and deeper. However, it's important to recognize limitations as well. And here's a big one. Sometimes the problem that you're looking at is more complex than the why question would can address. And it may have multiple causes. And let's go back to our situation here. Right, as I mentioned before, if you look at, let's see, where are we? If you look at the second question, right, it says, why are they feeling overwhelmed? Right, there's been an increase in workload without corresponding increase in resources and staffing. Okay, the third question, why was there an increase in workload? Right, so we decided to ask that question, right? It said the company took on several large projects without scaling the team appropriately. So why didn't the company scale the team? There was a lack of adequate planning and foresight. So let's go back to that third one. So we could have taken a different approach, right? We could ask a different question there. Right. So why was there an increase in workload? That's one thing. Why did we increase the workload? And the other question is, we increased the workload without a corresponding increase in staffing or resources or staffing. So that's another one. So here we asked, why was there an increase in workload? We could have gone down the other path to say, well, why was there not an increase in the resources and staffing? Well, we didn't have enough money. We didn't have enough finance. We didn't have enough, right? And so that takes us down a different road. And so problems sometimes are a lot more complex than the why would ask. And you may have to do, multiple why discussions, right? Hey, well, let's take this part of the problem and let's ask why. Let's ask the 5 whys. Let's take another part of the problem and let's ask 5 whys there. Let's ask another problem and ask 5 whys. So I think I told you guys that in my office recently there was a problem with our network. Okay, so a company was running their fiber and they nicked the line for my provider, right? So we didn't use them. So they nicked the line for our provider. Well, and so our internet became spotty. Now, here's the kicker, right? We have in the office a backup internet, right? So we have 2 providers that we have. So what's supposed to happen in our network on our router? When one fails, the other one is supposed to fail over to the other one. Okay? Well, yeah, so when the one went down, the other one was having problems as well. And it had been having problems, but I didn't know because I didn't follow the checklist. I didn't do, well, not that we didn't have a checklist actually. We assumed that it was there, it was working. And the first provider didn't go down that often. We've had, spotty here and there, or if it did go down, it was because, there was a storm and the entire city or wherever was down. So there was no reason to think that, well, the second one wasn't working. But when we had like this first one go down And I'm sitting there. I'm like, well, what's going on? Because they both can't have been nicked, right? The other one should be working now, but it wasn't working. So we actually had both service providers come out and work on their system. Now we have a way of, I got my little phone here, and so we set both of them up. If you know anything about networking, we had the failover, right? One was active and the other one was passive. And so now we actually put them both as active. So it actually goes, both of them are working at the same time. So if one fails, I get a message. I get a text message. So, all right. Yes. So once again, we're talking about the 5 whys, root cause analysis. So as we're looking for how do we evaluate, how do we solve problems as we move through our Q4 winning moves. When a problem comes to you, if you have tools in your toolbox, then you can go with confidence. Even though you don't understand what's going on in the problem, because you have these tools, you can work with and you can approach that problem in a structured way that gives you a high probability of successfully evaluating and coming up with a solution. But if you don't have these methods, if you don't have these tools, every time a problem comes up, it's a crapshoot, right? You don't have a way of evaluating it. You don't have a way of approaching it. So as we're going through all of the techniques that we've learned, all the things that we've learned in this series, not just for the problems, but everything that we've learned, you want to begin working to incorporate some of those into your daily life. What I want to say to you is that we're talking here, this was a business situation, right? This is a business example. But the tools that we're learning, the techniques that we're learning can be applied to almost every domain in your life. Every domain. And when I say domain, I mean, your professional life, your personal life, your health, your relational life. All of those things, you can apply them. You can apply the tools there because they are usable. They're usable. All right. Let's see. G. Albert says, now you probably should add network failover testing to your quarterly checklist. Yes. Yes, we should. Thank you for that. Yes. You are correct. So, all right. So that is our thought as we do our teaching here at the beginning of the show. And then now we get some work done. I got a couple of things that I'm going to be working on. We're going to play some music, and we're going to go from there. If you've not already done so, I want to encourage you to get over to our YouTube channel and subscribe if you've not subscribed. If you have subscribed, go ahead and hit the bell so that you know when new things are out. I'll be coming up there in just a minute so you can see. Be an evangelist for this space. This is a place that we are working to build so that people can come and people can experience growth. All right. And let me pop over to, let's see, where am I going? Okay. I want to get to this. All right. So here's what we say, right? Let me hold that up. We educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications. Go to the next level. Create the life you've always wanted. So this is the space for that. That's what we do here, right? So we're educating to give information. We empower by providing tools, and we encourage by providing community. Right here. That's what we do. All the things that you see us do and hear us say, that's why we're doing it. So make sure you get over there, share this with people that you think will that it will be beneficial. If you're getting benefit, give us a thumbs up, right? Let us know that, hey, I'm liking what you see, liking what you're doing. Also, if you get over to, when you get over, you should get over. to our website. That's Dwain Woode MD, Dwain Woode MD, and you'll see there, the 7 Keys to Success, the book that we've written. You'll see our online course, the Unmasking the Sweet Truth About Sugar. If you would like to have me work with you more personally, you can do that by getting over to our Next Level Coaching Program. You can get to our podcast, y'all. And that comes out every Friday. So our next episode will be out tomorrow. And you can also get over to our blog by getting to the website. So Dwain Woode MD is where that is. So make sure you are using all of those. If you are here and you are watching this now on the replay, go ahead and put hashtag replay in the chat. And just because you were not here, that doesn't mean you can't still utilize what we're doing. I am time blocking. That is putting on my calendar and putting on a daily basis, mostly, time to do work, time to do things I need to do to be successful. If you don't schedule it, if you don't make time for those things, then it's not successful. Right, so that's what I'm doing. I'm time blocking, and as I said, we have now 38 episodes. So over a month's worth of resources that you can use. You can come, you can listen to the teaching that we do at the front end of the show, and then we're just now in a couple minutes. I'm going to hop over and we're going to provide the work time. Okay, so use it, and you will be successful. All right, so let's get over and let's get some music and let's start working. And put in the chat what you're working on. Like I said, I'm going to be working to finish up my blog for tomorrow. I'm going to be working to finish up I got some graphics that I need to do for a video I'm putting out, a short that we're going to be posting tomorrow. So I'm finishing those up as we go. I use Canva, by the way, for my graphics, and I'm just writing the blog. Actually, I need to do a show so that you could see some of the process that I go through to do my week, right? And I've mentioned my week to you guys. I've gone through that outline a little bit. So my show is on Monday. On Tuesday, we do a shorter version of that, a shorter part of the show. And then for the rest of the week, we do shorts from the show. And then on Friday, we put out a podcast related to the show. And we also, an edited version of the show. And we put out a blog that's related to some concept that we did for the week. And then, of course, over the last 3 months now, we're in the last month, we've been doing this series called Q4 Winning Moves. Q4 Winning Moves. On our channel during our live show at 7 o'clock Central on Mondays, we're continuing the series entitled The War for Your Health. So we're doing 2 series right now. This one that we do later in the evening, so Q4 Winning Moves. And then, of course, on our show on Mondays, we've been doing the War for Your Health. Okay? All right. So let's see what this G. Albert has a message down there. Let's see what you say. He says, FYI, for the past 10 to 15 minutes, you've been very choppy. Not sure if it's on my end or yours. I would advise you to review the broadcast. Okay. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me actually go over and look at my. Right now, we're going through Restream, and you. I think you're watching me through. Yeah, I see YouTube. So you're watching me on YouTube, and according to this, my YouTube looks good. But yeah, thank you. I'll take a look at that. I'll review this. Okay. All right. So let's hop over and let's get you a behind the scenes look, and we'll get you some music, and we will go from there, y'all. So let's get to it. Get your work done, and let's hit it.
Take a real close look now. Soon you'll realize you don't know what's coming down. I got you hypnotized. Take a real close look now. I'm going to show you how. I'm about to get down. So keep it up right now. So keep it up. So keep it up with me. I need to move. I need to feel the beat. Don't be a fool. You wanna hang with me. Life isn't easy. You gotta roll the dice. You wanna change. Join the paradise. So bring it on if you wanna hang with me. Right. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen out, there ain't nothing like this. Take a real close look now. Baby, I'm versatile. Watch me when I come down. I make it worth the while. Take a real close look now. I'm gonna show you how. I'm about to get down. So keep it up right now. So keep it up. So keep it up with me. I need to move. I need to feel the beat. Don't be a fool. You wanna hang with me. Life isn't easy. You gotta roll the dice. You wanna change. You're in the paradise. So bring it on if you wanna hang with me. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen now, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen now, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen now, there ain't nothing like this. You know I know we kick it like no one else. We kick it like no one else. Listen now, there ain't nothing like this. Ooh, I know, you know, we kick it like no one else.
All right, all right. I hope you are having some success, having a good time out there working. Uh, I have been doing some research and, like I said, working on my blog. That's coming out later today, right? Because it's after midnight, y'all. That's after midnight. Oh, so that's what I've been working on. I'm not sure what you are working on out there. If you're catching this on the replay, go ahead and drop in the comments what you're working on, what you're doing, what you're doing to be successful. Right? We are continuing the series, the Q4 winning moves, talking about strategies and techniques that we need to put in place to be successful as we come to the end of this year and we set ourselves up for success in the new year. Two things that we have that are the most valuable, y'all. That is our time and our energy. Time and energy. So we want to manage our time. We want to be efficient. We want to utilize our time wisely, and that's what we are doing here in this space, right? Creating a space where you can come and do some work to be efficient, to be successful. And then the second thing is our health, right? Time and health. That's why we say, hey, I'm Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And here on the channel, we educate, we empower, and we encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications and go to the next level, creating the life you've always wanted, right? So that's what we do. That's what I do. That's what we're doing in this space. So as we're talking and as you're working, remember, our goal is to elevate. Our goal is to get better. Our goal is to improve in all aspects of our life. Okay. All right. So I hope you're getting some stuff done. Hope you are doing some things out there. Go ahead and drop a replay if you are, or hashtag replay if you are watching this on the replay. If you're here on the live, go ahead, give us a thumbs up, say hello, and then we're gonna pop over again, do a little bit more work, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna play 2 songs probably, and then we'll come back, and then we will get out of here so we can get some sleep, y'all. I gotta get up and go exercise early in the morning. All right. So here we go. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that right now.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free with me. Let's go, let's be free with me. Be free. Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche. We're on the run, this is what we waited for. Take my hand, we'll make it somehow. We can't miss out. I'm done living life with the lights out. Die with my own doubts. Be free.
All right, all right. Be free, y'all. Ooh, wow, wow, wow. I love that. I love that. I love that. Like I said, hopefully you have been having a good time and you're getting some work done. And even if you're not out there, dancing and carrying on, you are getting work done, and that is the reason why we're here. That's the reason for this space, as we are time blocking, right? So time blocking, setting aside time to be in this space, putting time on your calendar, putting time so that you can be successful. You can be successful. Awesome, awesome. All right. Well, y'all, this is it, right? This is it. I am gonna get some well-needed sleep, so I can get up in the morning and do some exercising and get into my day. So I want to wish you, well, first of all, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for being in this space. Remember, we are in our series, Q4 Winning Moves, Q4 Winning Moves. And as we're going through the series, we're talking about behaviors to help succeed in Q4, strategies for navigating the year-end sprint to success. We are on episode number 38, and tonight we talked about root cause analysis, the 5 whys, the 5 whys. What do we do to evaluate for what is causing something, the real root cause of that, so that we can begin working on that and that we can be successful. If you've not done so, get over to the YouTube channel. Please do that. Subscribe, like it, hit the bell, share it with other people so that they'll know that we're here. Get over to our website, Dwain Woode MD, Dwain Woode MD. If you see me in the social space, go ahead and say hello. You should see that coming up, right? So that's Dwain Woode MD. You can find me on all of my social media platforms. That's LinkedIn, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, all of those. Dwain Woode MD. Make sure you say hello, and we would love to connect with you. With that being said, thank you for coming by. Thank you for hanging out. We will see you tomorrow at our show again, Q4 Winning Moves, or we'll see you on Monday at our show, 7 o'clock Central on Monday here on the channel as we continue our series entitled The War for Your Health. Thank you. This is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here on the channel, I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health, your life, avoid complications, and go to the next level, creating the life you've always wanted. Good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Have a great one, and we will see you at the next show. Bye-bye.